Welcome to Pink Cake Princess. I'm Andrea and today I'm doing a wedding sweets collaboration with some of my YouTube friends. We're all working with SugarVeil products today and we're going to show you some of these great projects that you can see on the screen. You can click the links on the screen or in the video description below to see more of these projects. For my project, I'm making a lace brooch flower cookie pop. You can also see how I convert the cookie pop topper into a cupcake topper at the end of the video as well. So to start off with, I'll be using some SugarVeil Icing. This is the white mix. It also comes in a chocolate mix. I'm adding in 95 grams of the white mix with 80 mils or a third of a cup of tap water. I'm stirring it through briefly for about 30 seconds so that I can mix through. And then I'm going to place it into my mixer and mix on medium speed for 4 minutes. Stopping midway just to scrape the sides down. After 4 minutes, it should be a pourable consistency. There are a few ways of making this and this is the quick set method. Next I'm using the lace mat to create my edible lace. I'm using a pastry brush and I'm dusting on some corn flour onto my mat, just in circular motions, just so that I can get all the little crevices and shaking off any excess if there is some. Now I've poured some of my SugarVeil icing onto the mat and I'm using my SugarVeil scraper to scrape it across the lace pattern. Scraping it across, scraping it sideways and scraping it diagonal. Trying to keep the scraper as low as I can and spreading out my fingers so that the SugarVeil gets pressed down and spread into all the little holes of the lace pattern. I've wiped away the scraper one last time before I give it one last wipe across the length of the lace. Now I'm going to place my mat on an oven tray and then bake it in the oven on 95 degrees Celsius for about 8 minutes. Once it's done, I've laid the tray onto a wet tea towel that I've dampened with some water, and then I'm using a cloth that I've also dampened with some water just to wipe the excess residue off the lace. Now this damp tissue or cloth will re-moisten the lace slightly, so I'm just going to let it dry up with the tea towel slightly folded over on the edges because the edges dry out quicker than the center. Okay, once it's firmed up, it takes another about 5 to 10 minutes to firm up again, and you can see when it's ready when the edges start coming out and it's no longer tacky to the touch. Okay, now I flipped it over onto a mat and I'm using the SugarVeil fin to help me initially get it out of the mat and then the scraper to pull the rest out. The trick is to try and pull the mat away from the lace instead of the lace away from the mat. Again, using the fin tool on the other end just to initially help me get it out, and then releasing the rest. And that's your lovely SugarVeil lace. Okay, it is like material. You can flex it over, you can roll it around a cake, and you can even fold it up, make heaps of pretty patterns with it, stuff that you normally wouldn't be able to do with royal icing. Now to store it, I'm just layering it in some baking paper and you can place it in a Ziploc bag. Now onto decorating my cookie, I'm rolling out some pink fondant which I'm dusting with some corn flour so that it doesn't stick. And now I'm using the SugarVeil brooches mat to press in a pattern into my fondant. And I'm going to use my circle cutter, one that's about 6.5 centimeters, the same size as my cookie, to cut out the lovely pattern in the middle. I'm using a tissue just to damp with some water or sugar syrup, and then I'm going to attach it onto my cookie pop. You can find the cookie pop recipe on my channel or at the end of this video. Now I'm using some scissors to cut up my lace. I'm only using the end section of this particular lace, and I'm just going to gather it up so that I can form my little pretty lace pattern around my cookie. So just kind of pleating the inner section, causing it to curve into my little frilly lace. Then you can just trim the excess off. Now I'm using 3 smaller circle cutters to cut out 3 discs of fondant, and I'm using a wooden skewer just to fill the edges. I've dusted the edges with some corn flour so that it doesn't stick to my surface. And I'm just filling the fondant by pressing the edge of the skewer on the edge of the fondant. You'll also need a little center section, which is just a little ball of fondant that I've squashed down. Now you can attach your 3 pieces on top of each other with a little bit of water and a brush, and then attach your little center to your frilly flower. Now I'm going to use some sugar pearls, and I'm going to use the vacuum pickup tool from SugarVeil to help me pick them up. Now it acts as a vacuum. When I place my finger over the little hole, it sucks it up, and when I release it, it releases the pearls. Okay, now assembling all the pieces onto my cookie, just attaching with a little bit of water, pressing it down, and then attaching my little flower on top. And to finish it off, I'm going to use some food approved shimmer that I'm going to dust onto my flower brooch just to give it a lovely sparkle. Okay, now you can use the same technique to decorate a cupcake. I'm using the lace mat to create the imprint this time on the fondant, and this time I'm pressing it on top of my cupcake, just smoothing it over without smudging the pattern. And then I'm placing my frilly lace section on before I place my flower on, and then dusting it with my shimmer. Beautiful and unique cupcakes and cookie pops for any wedding occasion. Which one do you prefer better, the cupcake or the cookie? Don't forget to check out the rest of this SugarVeil collaboration. You can check out all my friends' tutorials by clicking the links in the video description below or on the screen. And if you want to check out my cookie pops recipe, you can click the link at the end of this video, or go to my channel for the cupcake recipe as well. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already subscribed to see more sweet tutorials. Bye for now, and you guys take care.